Again, straight into the net from Y. 7-point lead for the Thais. Still a look of concern on their coach's face, however. Supajit Rakul Monchai. And they're going to be helping out the cause of Myanmar there for that service error.
This was one of the issues in their game versus Singapore. The Thailand team committed one too many errors on their services, and even at the latter part of the first set which they lost, that the service errors really cost them a lot, and most of their points that they gave to the other team came from their services.
Tit for tat, Nini San sends it over the line. Shot on Suk now. Again, looking for the check there and didn't get it. Starting to get frustrated now, Ong.
Myanmar really trying to get their offense going, but since their offense is really focused on Ong Thu, they're still trying to find another man who can come up or even produce not the same number, but even just half, maybe, you know, Jing, you need someone to be able to come up with or average with some numbers and really fill in that big position that he has left behind.
It really is a shame that Ong Thu can't line up for this one. Should have been a fantastic test for his skill set to go up against this powerhouse, and they send that one out from the service area. It's another free point here for Thailand.
Back-to-back service errors, and the score is already now 8 points. Thailand is up with 8, and if you're Myanmar, you have to be able to utilize and to take advantage with the service errors that Thailand is giving you and not commit the same thing as yourself.
The lead has swollen to 9 for Thailand as Cole sends that one into the net. Second technical timeout, are able to score fresh off the technical timeout, and prior to that, we got to look at some of the fans here at the Phil Sports Arena. It's always great to see the Thais coming out to support their own squads. You see it across multiple sports as well, over football and volleyball here. They come out in attire too, not just, you know, in blue or they have face paint. They've got the traditional garb. It's fantastic to see the passion from their countrymen as the Thais pick up another point here to make it 17-8.
Block kill there by Pak Ti Kao and also Sang Si, opposite spiker of the Thai team. These two guys average double digits in their games in that game versus Singapore, and just so much height in this Thai team. You see when they're going up for the block, Jing, kung gaano kahaba yung reach nila going over that net. It's so hard to look for an area that your ball can go through.
I'm sure this is a match that the Philippines is looking very closely at. These are the opponents for the next round. And what do you think they're looking at in particular here between these two sides?
Of course, you always want to see a good game from these two teams, and everybody watching now, you just want Myanmar to be able to get back up, find a little firepower that they've been missing in this first set, and just really spread out the games more, and for Thailand to just keep doing what they're doing. Coach Monchai putting in his starting 6, even though knowing that Ong Thu won't be playing, but they're not risking anything in this game, like unlike their game versus Singapore. They lost that first set and was really costly for them.
They mean business here, the Thais. Ooh, love the adjustment in midair. Off speed, works a treat.
Just enough power over the blocker. You see, it's very, very rare for men's volleyball where you see rallies because they're just so athletic, they jump so high, they move so fast, so much power in every spike that it's so easy for them to put the ball away. But what you can do, sometimes the other team can do as well. So it's really a matter of what sets you apart from the other teams. And for Thailand, it's really the amount of firepower they have. All the players are able to score double digits, and you really can credit that to Chon Suk, who really distributes the ball perfectly between all his players.
Off the block and out. Really working that middle. As a treat, Quesada once more. Up and down like a spring, Quesada, so quick. loving the focus here of Thailand. But Myanmar able to pull one back. They're on a mission, Thailand, to get out of this set as quickly as possible. Myanmar trying to make a game of it here.
Smart move there by San, going to the smaller blocker. Setter of Thailand, Charoensuk, is up in front, and you want to go and take advantage of that when you're up against a much smaller block.
From the back row. So many weapons at the disposal of the Thai setter.
Sang Si from the back row. Jay, you see how he flies up in the air, and when you see these men's volleyball players jump from the back row, it's like they're also jumping in the front line. So you really have to put up a good block and try to get as much hands up there at the net as possible.
He's been looking for that check for a while now. Napatawa na lang siya. Hindi gumagana.
He's probably going for the hands of Pak Dicao, but it's not working for him in the first set. He's had a couple of missed hits and too much angle and too much. He's going for that angle too much that it's going wide.
This one working a little better for them, switching it up with a running hit. And giving Myanmar the 13th point of the set. It's a long way back for them to start building some momentum here. Unfortunately, Thailand so quick to bounce right back.
Really taking advantage of their back row here whenever, even though they have 3 players in the front line, Jay, you rarely see players on the back row come and attack because you have a full front line. But Charoensuk outsmarting the defense of Myanmar by going and utilizing his players in the back row, because why not? They've been 100% over there.
Timeout, Myanmar.
Timeout being called here by Myanmar. You want to perhaps create a bit of momentum heading into the second set. Trying to figure out how they want to set up here. What are you telling your squad here? You're down by 9 right now, and you're struggling against the powerhouses. What are you telling your boys heading into the final, what could be the final point of this first set?
Well, Jay, it's not over yet. This game will only put them in second place, but it's still going to get them into the semifinals, which they will have to cross over with 2 teams from Group B, either Indonesia or the Philippines. So you just have to get as much experience as you can, expose yourself as much as you can, and probably just work as a team, because it's not over yet here in the SEA Games. But it's really hard for the team of Myanmar because they don't have their captain. So the biggest question right now is who will step up, who will you turn to or look to for that guidance and just that leadership inside the court.
That one just long. I have a very small margin there. 10-point lead still though for the Thais. It's still set point. That one off the block, and that'll do it here for set 1. The Thais,
Thailand takes set number 1.
really story for that first set. Thailand flying out of the block.